Welcome to War Lens Archive. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe. Italy is a country where the ancient and the modern sit side by side, each layer revealing a story thousands of years in the making. In this video, we'll journey through Rome and Sicily, comparing late 19th century views with the vibrant scenes of today. From ruins that defined empires to towns shaped by centuries of culture, we'll see how time has transformed these places, preserving their character while giving them new life. Colosseum. The Colosseum has dominated Rome's skyline for nearly 2,000 years, and the upcoming photos show just how enduring that presence is. In the older black and white image, the amphitheater stands in a quieter, almost empty landscape, its worn arches exposed, with little around it except open ground and scattered stones. In the modern photo, the Colosseum sits at the center of a vibrant urban setting. The structure has been carefully stabilized and partially restored, its stonework brighter and its surroundings landscaped with pathways and greenery. Visitors sit and gather where wilderness once stood, showing how the ancient monument has shifted from a lonely ruin to a world-famous destination, timeless in form, but transformed in context. Roman Forum. This journey through time reveals the incredible work of restoration at the Roman Forum. The vintage sepia image captures the ancient heart of Rome in a state of raw excavation, with broken foundations, large piles of rubble, and a landscape that appears vast and desolate. Today, a colorful contemporary view shows the same majestic ruins transformed into a manicured archaeological park, where the ancient columns stand proud against vibrant green lawns and established trees, guiding millions of visitors through the carefully preserved history of the empire. Palatine Hill. In this vintage image, the massive brick foundations of the Palatine Hill's imperial palaces are seen as raw, exposed ruins, with debris scattered amidst the grand, centuries-old decay. Today, the same ancient structures are carefully integrated into a manicured archaeological park. Vibrant roses and lush greenery now line the paths, welcoming large groups of modern tourists and brilliantly illustrating the scale of the imperial age. Pantheon. Spanning over a century, these images affirm the incredible endurance of the Pantheon's massive columns and magnificent dome, which stand virtually unchanged and unblemished. The major difference is in the piazza, where the vintage view shows a rough, cobblestone square with minimal traffic. The modern, vibrant color photo captures a highly pedestrianized, smooth-paved space brimming with tourists and cafe life, reflecting its status as one of Rome's most beloved and utilized civic centers. St. Peter's Square and Basilica, Vatican. From a high vantage point, the sheer scale of St. Peter's Square remains a profound constant, defined by the iconic, curving colonnades that seem to embrace the world, a design that remains virtually unchanged from the mid-century black and white photograph. The key difference lies in the surrounding city, where the vintage view shows a dense but lower urban sprawl. The modern color image reveals a vast, brighter cityscape that has evolved around the Vatican, now with modern paved roads and the square bustling with visitors from every nation. Castel Sant'Angelo. The massive cylindrical fortress of Castel Sant'Angelo remains an imposing presence on the Tiber, virtually unchanged from the vintage black and white era to today. The true shift is on the Ponte Sant'Angelo, where the past saw a mix of horse-drawn carriages and early 20th century pedestrians. The modern color image shows the bridge transformed into a pedestrian walkway, now bustling with tourists and dramatically framed by modern streetlights and contemporary flags, emphasizing its status as a preserved historical route. Piazza Navona. The antique view of Piazza Navona reveals the square as a busy, working area, with horse-drawn carts and market activity crowding the dirt ground and obscuring the central fountains beneath a layer of excavation and daily commerce. Today, the square shines in brilliant color. Fully paved and completely pedestrianized, the magnificent fountains of Four Rivers and surrounding Baroque palaces are perfectly highlighted, creating the dramatic and peaceful civic masterpiece that millions enjoy today. Spanish Steps, Scalinata di Trinita dei Monti. The beautiful geometry of the Spanish Steps, crowned by the Trinita dei Monti Church and anchored by the Barcaccia Fountain, stands unchanged through the decades. However, the square has undergone a key refinement. The vintage image shows the base flanked by small, permanent vendor or guard booths, while the vibrant modern view reveals a cleared, open plaza designed for grand public gatherings, perfectly showcasing the restored fountain and emphasizing the steps as a true architectural masterpiece. Era Paces. This comparison reveals not a change to the ancient altar itself, but a dramatic architectural re-evaluation of its setting. The older structure was a heavy, monumental, fascist-era pavilion that housed the altar in a stark, classical revival style. Today, the space is defined by the sleek, transparent, white travertine and glass of Richard Meyer's design, transforming the enclosure into a brilliant, contemporary museum that emphasizes light and transparency to showcase the ancient altar of Augustan peace. Piazza del Popolo. The monumental symmetry of Piazza del Popolo, defined by its central obelisk and the elegant twin churches, remains a striking constant across the decades. However, the atmosphere has completely transformed. The spacious, empty dirt square of the vintage era, once traversed by horses and carts, is now a densely populated cobbled pedestrian hub, filled with international tourists, cafe chatter, and the vibrant life of a modern Roman destination. Villa Borghese, Pincio Terrace. From the elegant Pincio Terrace, the columns and balustrade have framed a quintessential Roman panorama for over a century, providing an unchanged view of St. Peter's Basilica rising above the cityscape. Where the vintage image shows the terrace occupied by citizens in historical dress overlooking a hazy, distant city, the modern photo reveals a restored viewpoint offering visitors, today, a spectacular vista of Rome. Porta San Paolo, Ostiense area. The ancient fortifications of Porta San Paolo and the adjacent pyramid of Cestius are truly timeless, their monumental brickwork enduring across the decades. However, the surrounding environment has been completely transformed. The vintage image shows the area as a rugged, dusty, industrial edge of the city, with rough terrain and early street lighting. Today, the area is a clean, vibrant, and well-organized civic hub, where modern traffic flows across smoothly paved roads, and manicured trees and low-rise residential buildings have redefined the space around this ancient Roman gateway. Capite District. This remarkable comparison captures the stunning transformation of the Capite district. The vintage view shows the intricate architecture as a bare skeleton of wood scaffolding and exposed brick, revealing the massive construction effort required to achieve its dreamlike quality. Today, the area is a vibrant, fully realized Baroque fantasy, where the finished, ornate apartment buildings stand in rich color, framing a beautiful fountain and establishing the piazza as a quiet, protected architectural jewel within modern Rome. Piazza Venezia and Vittoriano. The Vittoriano, built to honor Italy's first king, Victor Emmanuel II, became the most important stage for fascist-era rallies and declarations. In the vintage image, the immense steps and foundations of the monument are completely covered by vast formations of marching troops and organized crowds, emphasizing the political use of the structure as a backdrop for mass display. Today, the monument is seen as a stunning piece of pristine white marble architecture, its steps clear and accessible, standing as a respectful tribute to Italian unity and a dramatic contrast to the solemn, military use of the past. Basilica of San Marcos. Framed perfectly by the same archway almost a century apart, St. Mark's Basilica and the campanile rise unchanged in the heart of Venice. In the older black and white photo, the square feels quiet and spacious, scattered pedestrians, soft tones, and a calm, almost solemn atmosphere. In the modern shot, the scene bursts to life. Bright colors, crowds of tourists, street cleaners, and children moving through a much busier Piazza San Marco. Despite all the change in energy and scale of tourism, the architectural icons at the center stand exactly where they always have, timeless against a city that never stops shifting. Basilica di Santa Maria. This image you see is a photograph of Basilica di Santa Maria della Salute in 1946, probably taken from a boat. Today, the Basilica di Santa Maria Salute is undergoing restoration on the riverfront, but we were able to walk into this quiet, beautiful place and imagine the centuries of history that passed through its doors. It was built in the early 17th century and dedicated to Our Lady of Health for surviving the devastating plague of 1630. Arch of Constantine. The Arch of Constantine, seen here in 1943, once stood prominently but exposed in an open traffic square, its ancient reliefs enduring the city's ceaseless flow. Decades later, while the monumental arch itself remains a powerful constant, the surrounding environment has been beautifully transformed. Towering pine trees now frame its grandeur, and the area has been pedestrianized, allowing modern visitors to appreciate its 1,700-year history in a peaceful, protected park. Porta Settimana. In the historical photograph, Porta Settimana appears as a quiet, working-class gateway, where residents pass beneath the medieval arch and a horse-drawn cart piled high, with haste slowly navigates the narrow street. The surrounding walls show signs of age and wear, reflecting a time when this corner of Trastevere still functioned as a modest, lived-in neighborhood far removed from the bustle of the city center. Today, while the ancient gate remains structurally unchanged, the scene around it has transformed dramatically. The street is now lively with pedestrians, cafes, and modern vehicles, turning what was once a simple local passage into a charming, well-kept destination. Porta Settimana continues to stand as a timeless marker of Rome's layered history, seamlessly connecting everyday life across the centuries. Before we move on, it's important to remember that Italy's story isn't contained in just one city. While Rome shows us how history can be preserved, restored, and carried forward through centuries, other parts of Italy have lived through very different chapters. To truly understand the contrast, we now head south, toward Sicily. Unlike Rome's gradual evolution, Sicily's past is marked by wars, invasions, and natural disasters that reshaped its cities entirely. So let's explore how Sicily looked then, how it stands today, and how its people rebuilt a region that has faced some of the most dramatic moments in modern Italian history. Catania, Sicily. Once, this monumental facade in Catania stood amidst the chaos of war, obscured by dust, rubble, and the frantic movement of soldiers. A grim scene reflecting the devastating impact of conflict on Sicilian soil. Decades later, the wounds have healed, the buildings are restored, and the square bustles with the quiet activity of modern life. The solemn atmosphere of wartime has given way to a peaceful urban scene, where the space is now filled with the parked scooters and cars of everyday citizens. Catania Chiesa di Santa Chiara. In the wake of intense Allied bombing during World War II, a side of the Chiesa di Santa Chiara was reduced to a shattered shell, with rubble piled high on the street, exposing the scars of conflict that ravaged Catania. Today, the building stands fully restored, a resilient piece of the city's Baroque art, with new life bustling on the street, framed by parked cars and the vibrant movement of daily commerce. The pain of destruction has given way to the quiet dignity of reconstruction, marking a decisive transition from a war-torn past to a lively present. This street in Catania, during the intense 1943 Sicily campaign, was a stark picture of conflict. The building reduced to a shattered shell, the road choked with the dust and debris of war, and occupied by the presence of armed soldiers. Today, the scars have been erased by determined reconstruction. The architecture is whole, and the street has returned to its purpose as a lively civic space. Its ground now home to the parked vehicles of a busy, peaceful modern city. San Lorenzo, Sicily. In 1943, this street in Rome's working-class San Lorenzo district was a portrait of devastation, where the impact of the Allied bombing left the apartment buildings with gaping holes and the road choked with rubble, forcing civilians to walk amidst the wreckage. Today, the street has been fully restored and repainted in warm colors, Its historical architecture seamlessly integrated into the bustling modern city street, leaving the tragic scars of the massive air raid to history as life continues, marked by parked cars and vibrant urban activity. This working-class district of San Lorenzo, a target of Allied bombing of July 19, 1943. Residential buildings reduced to gaping shells of masonry and rubble-strewn streets, where trolley buses, paralyzed mid-route, lie beneath downed wires, emphasizing the devastating impact on civilian life and infrastructure. Today, while the street grid remains, San Lorenzo has been dramatically reborn. Its reconstructed blocks, now housing a lively neighborhood with its revolutionary, anti-fascist past now commemorated in subtle monuments and vibrant street art, standing in stark contrast to the trauma of its wartime demolition. Sicily, Sicily. This long, straight road in Sicily, Sicily, once saw the formal march of Allied troops and the transit of military vehicles, a crucial location that witnessed the pivotal moments of the 1943 Sicily campaign. Today, the dusty, wartime thoroughfare has been paved and quieted, now functioning as a typical regional road, its long barrack-style buildings enduring as a quiet testament to the intense history that once defined this Sicilian landscape. This imposing archway in Sicily, a witness to the intense 1943 campaign in Sicily, was once occupied by the powerful presence of a German military tank and soldiers, turning the entrance into a symbol of wartime occupation. Today, the arch stands proudly enduring, now surrounded by the scaffolding of conservation efforts, signifying a transition from a site of strategic military importance to a valued historical monument under the care of peace and preservation. Troina, Sicily. In August 1943, this steep street in Troina was a perilous sight. Allied soldiers advanced under fire, with the buildings bearing the scars of battle, their walls riddled with bullet holes and shrapnel damage, visible against the rocky hillside. Decades later, the wounds are gone, and while the steep, dramatic terrain remains, the architecture is fully restored and extended with modern balconies, transforming the former front line into a peaceful, residential street lined with the vehicles of everyday life. In the intense aftermath of the Battle of Troina, this narrow alleyway was entirely choked with piles of wreckage and debris, illustrating the immense destruction inflicted upon the ancient hill town's close-knit streets. Today, the passage is fully cleared and restored. The high walls stand straight and solid, and the alley is a testament to the town's enduring character, now serving as a quiet, functional street within the rebuilt community. In August 1943, this corner of Troina was a dangerous combat zone, where Allied soldiers moved through the unpaved, exposed streets, while buildings displayed the marks of heavy fighting on the high, rocky terrain. Today, the street is paved and quiet. The architecture has been restored and updated with modern additions like balconies and brightly colored facades, ensuring the steep, ancient street is now a functional and peaceful neighborhood corner for the modern community. Ausonia, 1944. This view of Ausonia was once a scene of utter devastation, with buildings reduced to skeletal ruins and piles of rubble choking the street, a grim testament to the fierce fighting along the nearby Gustav Line in 1944. Today, the town has been fully rebuilt, its stone facades beautifully restored and the road flawlessly paved, transforming the former front line into a peaceful, vibrant community where everyday life continues in the quiet shadow of history. Monte Cassino Abbey. The ancient Benedictine monastery of Monte Cassino Abbey, perched high on its mountaintop, was reduced to a terrifying skeleton of rubble and ruin during the intense battles of 1944. The black and white image from that year shows the massive structure as little more than jagged, bomb-shattered walls clinging to the scarred hillside, while the surrounding trees are dead and burnt, symbolizing the utter annihilation of both nature and sacred history. Decades later, the abbey has been meticulously and faithfully reconstructed to its original form. Its clean, pale stone walls now surrounded by lush, dark green cypress and pine trees, transforming it from a symbol of devastating conflict into a pristine monument of resilience and faith, standing as a tranquil beacon over the valley below. In just a few moments, we've traveled across Italy, from the preserved grandeur of Rome to the resilient landscapes of Sicily. These images remind us that history is never still. Cities rise, fall, rebuild, and evolve, carrying the memories of those who lived through their most difficult hours. Yet through it all, Italy continues to stand as a place where the past and present meet in every street, every stone, and every story.